Hello, and welcome to another episode of Barlow's TV, your local landscape and garden resource. I'm Stephen Barlow, here in the garden to talk to you about watering your flowers. So, it's the hot summer days, we don't get a lot of rain, and it's time to make sure your flowers are well hydrated. A couple tips before I show you how I water my flowers. One is to always make sure you water flowers early in the morning before the sun comes up and stresses out the plants. And two, make sure you don't water your flowers at night because then you're going to leave water on the leaves and it's going to open the door for diseases. So you want to water early in the morning. So let's talk about watering our grass. Our grass requires totally different watering than our flower beds. Our grass's root systems only go down about 2 to 3 inches. So therefore, it's not going to need nearly as much water as our flower beds. So if you do have an irrigation system, you want to make sure you have different zones for your lawn versus your flower beds. Now, watering your flower beds, an established perennial like these Shasta daisies generally don't need any water. Those roots are going down nice and deep. They can suck up a lot of water. You don't really have to water them. If you have a newly planted perennial flower bed, you're going to have to water that a little bit more. Same with your annuals. Annual roots don't generally go down as deep as your perennials, so you're going to need to water them a little bit more. When I say a little bit more, I like to water my annuals established 2 to 3 times a week with about 1 inch of water every time I water them, and I'm going to show you that in a second. Now back to our lawn. You can water your irrigation every single day in your lawn, but you don't need to do that. What I like to recommend is doing every other day in your lawn where you're going to water each zone for about 15 to 20 minutes. If you water it too much, you're just wasting water. So, let's water our annuals. So I have some Calabacos and Scabola here. They've been in my garden now for about a month, and it's been hot, and they do need to water. You will notice I do have mulch here. If you look underneath the mulch, it is nice and moist. That's the great thing about mulch, is mulch helps keep the moisture in, so you don't have to water nearly as much. We do not water like this. The air does not need water. The roots of the plant need water. So when you're watering, you want to saturate that roots. So you want to soak it till there's good runoff, okay? It is not a quick and done. You have to understand that these roots are spraying down to the soil. You want to make sure you completely soak them. So when we water, we like to count. Maybe 1, 2, 3. Go to the next spot. 1, 2, 3. And now I know these are well-watered plants. I'm not going to water my Shasta daisies or my Russian sage much because that's an established plant and it's been in the garden for a long time. It does not need water. Now, if I have a newly planted perennial garden, I'm going to water that just like that. We're going to give it a good 3 to 5 second count on each plant to make sure they're good and soaked. Now, one more thing when we talk about watering. I always like to recommend we fertilize. Fertilizing is so important, especially in the summer sun when we're watering a lot. Because what we do is we leach all the nutrients out of the soil, and those annuals, not so much the perennials, need fertilizer. So, just like I've shown you in my other videos, what you want to do, and same thing with fertilizing, you want to do it early in the morning. You know, you pick a day, like it could be Fertilizer Friday, pick a day of the week. I like to fertilize my plants every Sunday morning. So you're going to put this on your hose. And once again, if you check out our hanging basket video and things like that, you can see how this whole thing works. And you're going to turn this on, and I'm going to soak them. Same thing again. When I fertilize, I want to soak them to make sure that fertilizer goes in there. I'm not fertilizing like this where I'm getting the leaves. The leaves do take up a little bit of nutrients, but most of the nutrients is taken up from the roots. So I want to get way in there and really soak it. So I thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Barlow's TV. I hope you got something out of it. Be sure to like our page on YouTube and our Facebook page and share this with your friends. Have a great day.